Growth hormone peptides like CJC1295, ipamorelin, tesamorelin, and sermorelin can be amazing tools. But if you don't have the foundations correct, your results are going to be severely diminished. And of course, the most important foundations are sleep hygiene along with proper diet and exercise. But supplements can also play an important role in ensuring you're getting everything you can out of your growth hormone peptides. And there are specific groups of supplements that synergize very well with growth hormone peptides specifically. So in this video, we're covering each of those groups of supplements in a way that will help you determine whether you specifically should take them. Because not everyone needs to take every single one of these. And even if you are going to take them, when you add them into your stack is also an important nuanced decision. So with that said, let's jump in with our first group of supplements to consider adding to your growth hormone peptide stack. And that is the somatostatin inhibiting supplement. So one of the biggest inhibitors to achieving a proper growth hormone pulse in response to your peptides is somatostatin, which is another peptide hormone your body naturally produces. And it inhibits growth hormone release from your pituitary gland, which is to say that if somatostatin levels are too high, you won't get a robust growth hormone pulse. So if there was a way to decrease somatostatin's effects, you'd essentially be releasing the brake on your growth hormone response. And this is exactly the role of our first group of supplements. And the first one of these is the amino acid L-arginine, because arginine has been demonstrated to directly decrease somatostatin release. And there are multiple human studies, including meta-analyses, demonstrating arginine's ability to increase growth hormone release in this way, especially studies looking at its ability to work synergistically with the growth hormone peptides. And this effect can be fairly significant depending on the population. For instance, in one small study, 8 grams of oral arginine was given to healthy elderly subjects who were also given exogenous growth hormone releasing hormone, i.e. the class of sermorelin, tesamorelin, or CJC1295. And this amount of arginine, that 8 grams orally, increased the growth hormone response to the peptide by almost 3-fold. And it is important to note that this was in healthy elderly individuals, because the older you are, the more benefit you're going to get from using arginine with your growth hormone peptides. And the reason for this is that somatostatin increases with age. And this is actually one of the main reasons why growth hormone decreases with age. So again, since arginine's role here is to decrease somatostatin, its benefit is going to be highest in those with the most somatostatin, i.e. older individuals. And this was particularly demonstrated in a study on GHRP administration, i.e. the class of ipamorelin. And in this study, arginine enhanced growth hormone release alongside GHRP6 administration in elderly individuals, but it did not enhance the response in younger individuals. And while other studies demonstrate that younger individuals still receive synergistic benefit from arginine with the GHRH, it is not near as much benefit as an older individual would receive. So all to say, this is a much higher priority supplement the older you are. But in practice, for any age, I don't generally start with this included in the protocol, because you may not need it. After all, as we discussed in our prior growth hormone peptide videos, you don't always want the highest growth hormone increase. And this is for multiple reasons, including that too high of growth hormone or too high of IGF-1 is associated with both decreased lifespan as well as with increased cancer risk. So instead of just trying to get growth hormone as high as possible, we're trying to get it into an optimal spot for you specifically. So you may be getting enough growth hormone stimulation from your peptide stack alone, which would be great. But if you aren't getting enough of a growth hormone increase, i.e. you aren't noticing positive effects and your IGF-1 is still not optimal, then arginine can be a great add as long as your labs look stable. And if you are going to add it though, for the dose, I like starting at the low end of the range seen to increase growth hormone responses in studies, so about 5 grams. And then as tolerated with supervision by your doc, you can work up to about 8 grams, which again was the dose found to have significant success in the GHRH study we mentioned. And then I take that dose about 30 to 45 minutes before you inject your peptides at night on an empty stomach to allow time for the arginine to start suppressing somatostatin before you actually administer the peptide.